In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel were the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayad, one out of I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 125th Street, Harlem, the lead Israel at this time. I say, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Barakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Ailatan Ba'Shem Yahweh to my sisters. All right, so today we're going to touch back on the topic that, you know what I mean, I touched on Monday, you understand, and a previous topic that I touched on last week, you understand, you know what I mean. So you have an incident will take place in Trenchtown where a young girl, 17-year-old, was murdered, right? And there have been reprisal killings since, you see me? And there's security presence now in Trenchtown, you know what I mean, curfew and everything, you know what I mean, Zozo and everything, right? So, you know what I mean, but watching the news, you know what I mean, a few things caught my attention, you see me? And we're going to run the tape and show you what are these things, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just as intro till my brother Abadawan comes in with the topic of today's class, you know what I mean? The topic of today's class is, you know what I mean, the Most High still hates idolatry, which is going to be an interesting topic when my brother comes in, you know what I mean, and does his thing, you understand? But without further ado, I'm going to jump in at the tape, I'm going to see what I go on, right? So you see?
Temporary suspension of certain rights.
Once you have a weapon on you, that's it. If you have it, you have an intention to do something, right?
Shoot them.
If you have it, once you find you with it, that's it.
He says.
All right, so that there was the councillor for Trenchtown, Neville Wright. You get me? And his solution to the problem that is going on right now in Trenchtown is that if the police find anybody with a weapon, that the police should execute them. You know what I mean? I don't know if you hear clearly what he said, but that was what he said a while ago. You understand? So, you know what I mean? Due to the incident we are going, you get me? Theme solution as counselor. Remember, I know the man have the title of counselor, you know. A counselor is somebody who is supposed to counsel and give you good advice. You understand? So that is the job of a counselor. To counsel is the counselor over the Trenchtown division. But instead of counseling, he's telling the police that if, you know what I mean, if the police find anybody with a firearm, the police should murder them. You understand? Bear in mind, you know, the place is tense, you know. You understand? So what will people do now? Man knowing that he's not a part, him probably have to go walk with a firearm. But regardless of shoot him. The real councillors, you understand, for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian. We here in the I.S.U.P.K, we councillors for the nation of Israel. Not this some kind of, you get me? We here in the I.S.U.P.K, we provide actual solutions, especially for incidents like this where a young girl has been murdered. You understand? And there have been reprisal killings taking place. You know what I mean? We have situations, we have protocols where, you know what I mean, situations like these can get resolved. You understand? But you're a politician, you're elected politician that you go to the poll, you vote for, you know what I mean? These politicians that you never see, you know, see none of them, Whenever you have a problem, you know what I mean? Whenever you have any problem, you never see this politician. But when it's election time, you understand? Them come around, them pay, them bribe you to come vote for them. You understand? Them going to rum, them going to all sort of things because them want to support. You understand? But when it comes to, you know what I mean, actually doing their job of counseling the people of Trenchtown, their solution is for the police to murder you. You understand? All right. So what me I go do now, as usual, you know what I mean? You know that we here in the I.S.U.P.K are the oracle. We speak as the oracle of the Most High. So, you know what I mean? Whatever thing we talk about, you know what I mean? We have to substantiate it with what the Bible says. You understand? So I'm going to jump to some scripture right now. See? I'm going to jump to Deuteronomy 28. Let me read that again. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom. All right, this applies to the situation here in Trenchtown right now with the bloodletting. You know what I mean? This is a part of the curses for breaking the Most High's commandment. Like we explain over and over again. You know what I mean? Based on the Bible and based on history. You understand? We the children of Israel, you know what I mean, who these records written off in the Bible were given to. You understand? The Most High gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to keep. You understand? And if we broke those laws, statutes, and commandments, curses would come upon us. You know what I mean? And on the other hand, if we kept the Most High laws, statutes, and commandments, we would be blessed. You understand? So one of the curses, you know what I mean, for breaking the Most High's commandments, you know what I mean, is that the man that is never right. I again, because instead of being, you know what I mean, people on sight, if you find them with gun, you understand? His eyes are evil against his brother. You understand? It goes on to say, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom. This also spin back to the incident where the young lady was killed, because only a man that is evil against the wife of his bosom would walk up to a young girl and just execute her like that. You understand? We teach in I.S.U.P.K. These are as a result of us breaking the Most High laws. You understand? There's no solution to crime unless we come back to the Most High laws, you know. You understand? How long now them a try solve crime? Bear in mind that these same politicians are the ones that help create the crime. You know? You see? They are the one that help create the crime. You understand? And now them want to solve it. But we know that there is no solution to this crime, which was tender. His eyes shall be evil against his brother and the wife of his bosom. This is what we are seeing right now in Trenchtown being demonstrated. You know what I mean? A man who is tender, his eyes being evil against his brother and being evil against the wife of his bosom. That's why we kill each other. That's why we have no love for each other today. Our politicians don't even have a clue to what is going on right now to give you this solution. But we in the I.S.U.P.K, we are aware of it because we know the Bible. You understand? We under command in general, YAHANNA. We know the scriptures and we know what is the problem with black people. You understand? We know what is the problem. The problem with black people is we are the children of the Most High and we refuse to keep the laws of the Most High. Your politician don't know that. Hence the reason why him give you the solution of the police killing you. You understand? The same man we want to vote in, his solution for the problem what Uno face is for killing the young men. I'm going to show you something, you know. Zane, and I'm going to jump back to some other scriptures. I'm going to show you where it is a short society to hate black men and man. You understand? The Israelite man, you know what I mean? Of anybody in the island. I'm sorry, you hear me? I kind of have some internet problems, so you know what I mean. May I see you, you know, but I don't know if you hear me. Hold on, I'll add it to the street. You hear me, sir?
Yeah, man, come on.
All right. May I have some internet problems, so you know what I mean. From time to time, my signal might go in and out. You see? But we just have to finish up with this and then turn the class over to you. You see me?
Do your thing.
Yeah, man. So it's a common thing. I'm going to prove to you know based on understand.
Man, lucky have him squad, but lucky not kill the woman. Take it to the street to the man.
And that women are the target. Some relocating. Natalie says she's one of those women.
All right, I'm say me have some internet problem, but let me just address quick and fast what I go on right as in. She said her son, Lucky, or whatever his name is, a bad man. You understand? First she said she no back them. Zin, but bear in mind she attack to the media. She no back them. Then she said, Lucky nah kill no woman. So she admit say yo, her son a bad man pan TV. Now she have to kind of clean it up and say, Lucky nah kill no woman. She say, him take it to the street with the man them. Right? She back that. So she okay with her son killing men. You understand? Killing black men. But not killing a black woman, which we now condone the killing of black women or black men. You understand? That is not the case. We here in the I.S.U.P.K, we love black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man and woman. You understand? We care about the children of the Most High. But this woman, because she know that society hate black man, she know, you know, hence the reason why she said, take it to the street to the man them. You understand? She back that. But him nah kill no woman. She know that society, you know what I mean? We create outcry and uproar when a woman die. But she knows that society don't care about no black man. That's why she said, I'm going to run the tape again. Hopefully the internet allow me.
The violence, but refuted claims that one of her sons had anything to do with the killing of any woman.
Me never, none of pick them. Me go on social media. Me tell that side of your chairman bad. Them a bad man. Look your bad man. Look your good fight. But look it not kill the woman. Take it to the street to the man then. Yeah, take it to the street to the man then. Look him back in that.
You hear that? You say, take it to the street to the man them. Lucky, me back him on that. So she back him on killing him black brother. But when it come to, at least as far as where me see she had the right here, so probably she a play for the media. You understand? But as far as what she has said is, she don't really care if him kill black man, but him nah kill no woman. She goes on to say that, you know what I mean, him have mother and sister, and that's selfish. That's selfish. You understand? Because I mean, sure no say, yo, she would want for her son, you know what I mean, dead in the street, or somebody kill her son in the street. So it's just another selfish talking point from, you know what I mean, a loud mouth, you know what I mean, black woman, you know what I mean, who don't really want to submit herself to a man, probably raise them pitney by herself. But that's another point still. The point is, she know that society hate black man. And that was what she used to polish up her argument a while ago. You see, because she knows that is gonna be accepted. Her son a bad man, him kill black man, but him don't kill woman. You understand? All right. If me can, we just have to read a couple of scriptures. So, first, you know what I mean, it was the counselor. But it's not only the counselor. It's broader society don't really care about black men. You understand? The counselor and this woman and the media is just the common consensus of what them think about black man. That's why the counselor, you know what I mean, him feel free. You know what I mean, as a counselor, you can't think about it, you know. Him feel free for step on national TV. Say, yo, if the police find any one of them with a gun, don't even bring them in. Just kill them, just murder them. You understand? him feel so free to say it. Not that the man them guilty, not that the man them get found committing a crime or committing a murder. Just kill them, not ask them no question. Those are not counselors for the nation of Israel. All right. Let me jump to a scripture. I want to jump to the book of Amos, chapter 3 and 1. See? We here in the I.S.U.P.K are the only advocates for black Hispanics and native Indian men and women. You understand? You see, outside at I.S.U.P.K, you have no real advocates, you know. Them pretend say, yo, them advocate for the life of women and children. You know what I mean? But that is a lie. You understand? Them claim them advocate for, you know what I mean, the lives of our children, right? But yet still them promote abortion. Them have, you know what I mean? Them have organization where try push abortion in our society today. They don't really care about the children. You understand? Them claim say, yo, them care about the life of our woman or our woman them. You know what I mean? And these are the kind of woman them with them promote. You understand? Right throughout the media. Where, you know what I mean, degrade themselves in the media. You know what I mean? Single mothers, you understand? Woman being alone without the man raising the children, them give them woman the honor and respect. You understand? And then them claim say them advocate for black woman and black child. You understand? But let me tell you something. We in the I.S.U.P.K are the only set of people, only organization, only group that care about the black man, the black woman, and the black child. Outside of the I.S.U.P.K, we don't have no real advocate. You understand? All right, I'm going to jump to the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1. And it says, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. So the Most High telling us, say, yo, uno alone him know, the children of Israel. You understand? Uno alone him know, black Hispanics and native Indian. You understand? The Most High don't know nobody else. Continuing. Therefore, I will punish you for your iniquities. So the Most High punish you for your iniquities. What are iniquities? Us breaking the Most High law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? That is iniquity. So when you see bloodletting like this go on in a trench town, it's because the Most High punish you for your iniquities. You understand? When you see our counselor them come out and say, yo, boy, tell the police them for just kill them if them find them with gun because obviously them want to do something. That is the Most High's punishment. You get to me and say, that's why we implore, no, you know what I mean? Get in class. You know what I mean? Get in class. Learn these laws, statutes, and commandments again. So you can be on the right side of the Most High. You understand? The Christian church have never been teaching you the right thing. The Christian church always telling you praise Jesus, love God, one bag of thing. But them not telling you so we not suffer for breaking the Most High laws. Them not telling you that. So nobody provide any solution for you. So that a counselor now running out of ideas, being a government official, you know, now have no idea. No, him is a counselor. Bear in mind him title, you know, counselor. Him can't go to somebody and counsel him and tell them to stop the bloodletting, stop the murdering. Then what is he there for? Him is not a proper counselor. Like me say, we here in the I.S.U.P.K are the only counselor that we have. We don't have no government except for the men, the priests and the prophets here in the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general, YAHANNA. We don't have no leadership except for us. Because nobody care about you know. All right, I'm going to jump to another scripture. Sir, Salakia, sir, feel free for jump in anytime you ready do. Here, because I say the internet connection not too. All right, here. So we're going to jump to the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse Salakia. Chapter 5 and verse 38. And it says, ye have heard that it has been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. All right, so that was what Christian called Moses' law, you know, eye for an eye or tooth for a tooth. You know what I mean? Christ has said, you have heard that it has been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Or in other words, you have heard that it been said, if a man kill one of a family member, you must kill back one of them family member. Right? Continuing, verse 39. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil. So Christ has said, yo, Yahawashi Mashiach, which is our king. You understand? Which is a black man. You understand? With the Christian church hide and show you that white picture of Jesus, which you reverence as God. You understand? Yahawashi Mashiach or Jesus Christ, as the world know him as, is a black man. He said, you resist not evil if you do an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. You understand? Why he say you resist not evil? Because when somebody kill one of your family member them, it bring you through a state of depression. You understand? That is evil. You understand? It make you have memories about the person that you miss. It make you think evil thoughts. It put you through, you know what I mean, a terrible time or a terrible state. Right? The reason why I'm saying you resist not evil when you take an eye for an eye is that you are going to put somebody else through the same thing. You understand? So, when you put somebody else through the same thing because you felt hurt, you felt depression, you miss somebody who was taken from you, what you think that person are going to do when you take eye for an eye? You get me? And then you are going to lose somebody else. And then the cycle continue and it never ends. You understand? So therefore, you resist not evil. You understand? Continuing. That ye resist not, Salakia, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. All right, Christian, understand this for being that if somebody backs up on your right side of your face, you have to give them the left side of your face. That is not what this is saying. You have to bear in mind, say, black people write the book, you know. You understand? So, what this is saying is you must not take the law in your own hand. So if one of your family member them get gunned down, you understand? You should take it up on your head for go and kill back one of them family members, somebody down on the community of the person who did the crime. You understand? That is what this is saying. So don't take laws in your own hand. Come to us in the ISUPK if you have problems that need to be resolved. You understand? We here in the ISUPK, we are judges and we are counselors, unlike your politician or elected officials. You understand? A problem like this can be resolved. We want to lose a family member or lose a friend or something. You understand? Due to murder. You understand? We provide ways in which you can resolve this without anybody else have to die. You understand? Your counselor now resolve it, you know, but yet still he must say, you know what, the solution, kill off the whole, you know. Make the police just, anybody in catch with gun, him just kill them. That is what your political leaders are saying. And you vote for them. So you vote for them for a better life, and them solution is to execute, you know. You don't have to just think about that. But like I said before, you don't have no government, you don't have no counselors, except for the men here in the ISUPK. Under commanding general, Your Honor. And with that, I turn the class over to priest and officer Abidawan Banyamian.
All right. Shalom,
Shalom,
shalom.
sir. Shalom.
Yahweh Shema Shai Barakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Ailatan Basham Yahweh Shai to the sisters. All right. Now, with all these things that is happening in our country here, look, little Jamaica. You know, he's not the first politician to say something like that, though. You ever hear about shoot first and ask question
sure
after? Huh?
Gone.
You ever hear that phrase, shoot first and ask question after?
Gone. Me hear that.
You
hear me?
Yeah, man. That was you, last and Shira.
Yeah, man. Me hear that, sir.
All right. So, which party is he from? Huh? Hello.
May I hear you, sir, but I
Right
don't know
on.
if you hear me properly.
I hear you now. Which party him from?
Can,
Shira.
sir, may I hear you?
Which party Shira from?
Shira,
Mm-hmm.
I think that I must be GLP, you know.
GLP. All right. I'm win power now.
Can.
Who win power now?
The JLP is in power right now.
All right. There's a trend. It's the same like how in America when Democrat in power, when a Republican in power, you can expect certain things. Same thing out here, my son. It's the same thing. Whenever this party is in power, that's how they fight. When they're not in power, they create the criminals. When they are in power, they get rid of them. But it's not a surprise really. The problem is our people. They need to wake up and stop letting these politicians using them.
That's right.
There was a live broadcast Sunday gone from the Prime Minister did a live broadcast, and the Minister of National Security spoke, and the head of the head of the police commissioner spoke. Now somebody asked the police commissioner a question. We don't hear the question online, but based on the answer that the commissioner gave, it seemed as if the person asked, but like a person that make a comment, say, but I don't know catch the criminals. His reply was, yes, we're catching them, you know, we're catching those who committing the crime.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we're producing them too fast. So in other words, the speed at which criminals are being produced is too much that the police force cannot handle. That's what the commissioner is saying. But crime don't just start. All right. There's a saying, if leaders are born or if they are raised. Now we want to ask the question, if criminals are born or if they are raised. It's the same society that educate the criminals. And they are going to tell you that, well, the man who become a doctor, him come through the same system. Yeah, and come through the same system. So you're saying that that many of these doctors are not criminals? How many times have you seen men who you known men to have guns? I said, well, my father beg a thing now. You know, like they rate you and them, but I say, why not go on in a beg a thing now? So, but him have a gun, we value how much dollars. So how did he get it? Who sponsor him? It's the same person who go through the system.
That is a question.
And those persons take their education, and since what the system does, you know, is our system don't sift criminals, you know, it sift who is better trained or better educated out, put them at the top, even if they are criminals. That's how the system was formed in the first place, because our party, the party leaders, you know, they have criminal backgrounds. So if it start bad, if the tree is bad, the fruit can be good. And our political system began from a bad tree. So we cannot expect good fruit. We now have to be here trying to inject the good serum to change the fruit that is coming from the tree. Now, UPK We have a lot of work to do in Jamaica, I can tell you that much. Right? But you see, this is why, you know, there is something in the Bible which, from Genesis to Revelation, the Most High is trying to beat out of our head, and that is idolatry. Now, every single thing that we do in life has to do with whether you're serving the true God or you're serving an idol. Because it's the religion that you hold or the God that you hold that is going to set your philosophical belief, or you would say your daily life goals, right? When you look at do we in the same thing that the lady says, take it to the men them, but leave the women them. That idolatry teaching she get is why we can say that. She didn't get a teaching that is righteous, that comes from the Most High. Because the Most High teaching say, don't kill. Full stop. Neither man nor woman. You understand? But because of her idolatrous teachings, which she get from, we have to say Christianity, because Christianity was the one, is the religion that formed the base of our society here in Jamaica. Based on her idolatrous teachings, why she said that? That is a classic example of the worship of Ishtar, worshiping of the female goddess. Right? And as poor as she be, the poison got to her head. I said, kill man, don't kill woman. How about this? Don't kill none.
Yeah, man.
Neither man nor woman.
God.
That is what the God of the Bible says. The God of our Bible says, if you kill man or you kill woman, you should be killed. Right?
God.
This is why the Most High is upon us for not executing his judgment. And what does his judgment states? That we should get the Most High judgment, that if we were executing, living by his judgment, you know, from these, because most of these persons who go bad. You see the sign from early. And many of these men who go bad weren't grown with their fathers. Right? Many of them is they grow with the mother only, and is not a strong mother. They grow with a weak mother. And they didn't have any uncle or any good male role model in the family to prevent them from going bad.
God.
So they went bad. And what I'm telling you, this is fact. This is what, if you can talk to any of the cops who deal with the crime in Jamaica, they will tell you 95% of the male in our prisons did not grow with their father. There was no father around.
God.
And funny enough, you see, those who have father, even if their father themselves was a criminal, the father was able to keep them out of the system. Right? But this come from now the woman who say, I can do it all on my own. Or she become a loudmouth woman like this one here. And no man can stay around her. She's so contentious. No man can stay with her. You have to leave, or you're going to die. Or you're going to become, she's going to suck your energy and you become what we call a waste man. Right? But idolatry is the base of all this.
In the meanwhile, slack, yeah, it seemed like slack, yeah.
Seems like one. Hello. What is it? It seems like one. Head on.
It seemed like yeah, hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear you now.
Oh, may I say it seemed like your internet I get
Your one did something that is unstable. It is showing me that your Wi-Fi is unstable.
coming.
Like in the far from you or something. You understand me?
Okay.
Your Wi-Fi going in and out.
Okay. Go on.
All right, now.
Come on.
From the time of us being in Canaan, what we would call the promised land, we have been having problem with idolatry. Idols have been, because we did not get these idols out as the Most High command, idolatry have been, what you would say now, the philosophy of these false religion have been getting into our way of life, our belief. So much so that it has cost us one whole tribe. You notice, in Revelation and so on, in the New Testament, Dan, the tribe of Dan is not mentioned. When you read Revelation and they tell you about the tribes.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
Gone.
And it tell you about
yeah, man, cancer, yeah, man.
the season of the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe. Mention the tribe of Dan,
Gone.
And there's a story in the Bible as to why it is so. Because that Dan was the first one to move into idolatry before the kingdom split. Dan moved into idolatry. All right, let's go to Judges 17.
Gone.
Book of Judges, chapter 17.
Another one gone. Yeah, hear me clearly now, right, sir?
Can.
Okay.
Find it? I found it.
Where you say the book of
Judges 17. All right. Book of Judges, chapter 17, verse 1. The back?
gone, sir. Yeah, man. Where you say 17 and 1.
Right.
Another one gone. Slovakia. Hold on a second. Another one gone. This is the book of Judges, chapter 17, verse 1. Name was Mike. All right, sir. The signal definitely unstable. All right. You can call me upon the phone. I will just give the audio through the phone.
All right.
Yeah, man. I'm just remove me.
No, you don't have to remove yourself, you know. Just take off the mute the mic and the thing there. Oh, you have to remove the thing there. You will get a hello.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. You have to take off the image. You have to take off the image. You mute your mic, no mute. You have to mute your mic. The echo. It sound like, you know, an echo chamber. It's a reverberation now. Because all right, listen through your phone. So turn down the volume on the laptop that you're using.
Alright, yeah, man.
And just listen through your phone.
Alright, what I want now?
Better. No reverberation. All right, so Judges now. The book of Judges. Judges is a good book for us to learn from. Judges, the book of Judges shows how we were actually living before we have a ruler over us. And how we always slipping into the wrong thing. And these last 400 years is no way different. It's the same thing. Hello? You understand? You hear me?
Yeah, man, may I hear you loud and clear, sir?
All right, good. It's nowhere different. We keep slipping into idolatry. We follow Muslim. We follow Buddhism. You look at Rastafarian. Rastafarian is a mixture of what the religion they from India name again?
Shiva.
Mixture of Shiva, Christianity. Yeah. Because they growing on the locks and the smoking of the weed. That is Shiva. And then they tell you about now they're trying to put away the Bible. So now you know that Rastafarianism no really is not our thing. If it was our thing, they wouldn't be trying to put away the Bible. Right? So, you know, idolatry is strong among us today. If it wasn't for UPK, we wouldn't be awakened. We would be drowned in idolatry. And this is where it starts from way back. All right, Book of Judges, chapter 17.
Canada one gun. This is the book of Judges, chapter 17 and 1. And there was a man of Mount Ephraim, whose name was Micah. Verse 2. And he said unto his mother, 1100 shekel of silver that were taken from thee, about which thou cursest and spakest also in my ears. Behold, the silver is with me. I took it. And his mother said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my son.
Hello.
Yeah, hear me, sir?
Yeah. Blessed be thou of the Lord, my son. Now this man, you have to mute the mic on the laptop.
Mute it, sir.
No man, it no mute man. Look again.
It will give me the option now for unmute.
Right, it mute now. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it is mute.
No man, I did hear it coming through. It was playing.
Okay.
All right, so this man Micah, says to his mother, he did have some money there, and like him take it and him tell him mother, but now him come to him mother and say, I may have it, man, it's with me, and I will give you it back. Him go and use it, do something. But his mother tell him no, boy, it's like his mother say, you know, that silver there, and some know say money that you, the money that you have now, the silver, why you can't melt up the silver there and do with it? Eh?
Say that again.
The money that you have now, what can you melt the silver? What they call silver money, the pennies and so on. What can you melt it and do with it? You can't melt it and do anything with it.
I'm not even for real silver.
I'm not even real silver, you're right. I'm not real silver, man. But because real silver, you see, real silver, you can choose to use it, continue using it as money, or if you want to melt it and do something with it. So this is how you know that our monies that they are giving us to use is not the real thing. So we call it silver, but it's not real silver. Right? This woman, even though it was idol she made with it, this was money that she could have spent, you know. But she used it to do something. But anyway, here is the son telling her that the silver, the 1,100 shekels of silver that were taken from thee, about which thou cursed. So she not cost for her money. Just like somebody can find something and they start quarrel. Right, she not cost for her money. And speakest of also in my ears. He saying, come and say, son, somebody take my money, you know. And blah, 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 blah. Behold, the silver. So I'm coming now and say, confess to him, man, and I'll say, I may have it, man. All right, verse 3. Verse 3.
Verse 3. And when he had restored 100 shekels of silver to his mother said, I had wholly dedicated the silver unto the Lord of my son to make an image and molten image. Now therefore I will restore it unto thee.
All right, so she says she did dedicate that money there for make an image. You want to say unto the Lord. Which Lord? Who they call Lord? Baal. Yes. Okay, God. That Lord there is not Yahweh. Right? I wholly dedicate this silver unto the Lord from my hand for my son to make a graven image and a molten image. Now therefore I will restore it unto thee. So in other words, she was saving it to give him to make an idol.
Okay. God.
That would be unto Baal. That wasn't unto the Lord God of Israel. All right, continue reading.
God on God support. Yet he restored the money unto his mother, and his mother took 200 shekels of silver and gave them to the founder, who made thereof a graven image, a molten image, and they were in the house of Micah.
All right, so the founder here is referring to that man who is able to melt up the money, the silver. The man who is able to melt the silver and make something with it. It's not a founder like somebody who found something. All right, I think that pit in which they do the melting is called a foundry. You melt steel in it, you melt almost anything. It's called a foundry. So that's why they say to the founder, she gave it to the founder to make a molten image, a kind of graven image. Right, verse 5.
Verse 5. And the man Micah had an house of gods, and made an ephod, and teraphim, and consecrated one of his sons, who became his priest.
So, ephod, he made an ephod. Ephod and what? Where is it? And a teraphim. Now, ephod, teraphim, these are what we use in service to Yahweh. So that is syncretism they're doing right there. So you know, they make an ephod which we use in our temple, and a teraphim. I think the teraphim are one of that angel thing that sit on the Ark of the Covenant. So it makes
not teraphim.
Come again?
So, not teraphim, sir. I think cherubim.
Seraphim.
Teraphim is probably something else.
All right, so they make something that, but the ephod for sure was used by us. We can find for sure what teraphim is.
Slakia, sir, I find teraphim. Okay. It's small images are cult objects used as domestic deities or oracles by ancient Semitic peoples.
Right. So it's actually the domestic image of their god.
God.
Kind of like the ones that you see they throw away in India.
Okay, God.
So, but the ephod was what the priests wear. So he used now the ephod from our way of life, because I don't like to say our religion, because it's not a religion. God. He took the ephod from our priest garment and to now put it on the well, he didn't put it on the thing there, you know. He didn't put it on the idol, he put it on the priest. he wanted to meet his son, the priest.
God.
All right, continue reading.
Another one, God. 6. In those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
All right, so you see why I say judges is like what the way we are living today. Every man do what is right in his own eyes. That's what we do today. Because even if you're even with the Christianity, what you hear people say, I don't like that church because blah blah blah. Now go to the other church there. So then pick, choose and refuse churches because they are doing what they see right in their own eyes. No way different from today. That woman could come onto the TV interview and say that, you know, kill man, I will support you. Don't kill a woman. She is doing what she sees right in her own eyes. Coming from her own religion, her own religious belief. Continue.
Another one, verse 7. And there was a young man out of Bethlehem, Judah, of the family of Judah, who was a Levite, and he sojourned there.
Yeah, right. So a Levite coming on the scene now. Continue.
Another one, verse 8. And the man departed out of the city from Bethlehem, Judah, to sojourn where he could find a place. And he came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah, as he journeyed.
All right. Continue.
Another one, verse 9. And Micah said unto him, Whence cometh thou? And he said unto him, I am a Levite of Bethlehem, Judah, and I go to sojourn where I may find a place.
All right, so it so happens that this Levite came up. In other words, when the migration, just like people leaving Jamaica, migrating to US or wherever, trying to find a job. Like you hear the story about the men them who they kept caught in Florida.
God.
Is it much of them? 15, 16? Somewhere there?
I must be 40. It's not here. I'm not sure.
But that is a good amount. More than 12. All right. Well, the news is now saying that one of those man is one of the a former gang leader or something like that. But from I saw the news, I know there is some problem they're running away from.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be surprised if they were all from Montego Bay. Because obviously they would have been tipped off that the Zozo is coming to Montego Bay in their area.
Okay.
So they took to the seas. But they're not sailing straight from Jamaica, you know. They went to Bahamas.
Yeah,
and then they are trying to cross over. And you hear what the man said first thing as they hold him, well, I found that Jamaica, yeah, man.
They must say, yeah, but with crime and violence, too much crime at Jamaica.
Yeah, because of them are committed. You see, if life was hard as they have tried to put it, it wouldn't be 15 and 16 of them leaving Jamaica. The amount who would leave Jamaica, the 5 and couple cops wouldn't be able to hold them in America. You'll be having boatloads. 15 and 16 people running away, leaving almost 3 million behind. What? Them is the only sensible ones in here who can't take the oppression. Nah, man. As from here, the story, there's some criminal activity involved amongst them. So the gavel is about to fall on them. They took to the seas. maybe that's the best thing they could do. Because maybe they don't know another parish that they can run to. All right, so this man now was in the same mood of migrating from wherever he was in search of a job. Now, he came up on the house of Micah. Probably Micah have a big house, right? And he caught him eyes and say, you know, let me check over the yard. You understand? And he said, where you come from? Come from Bethlehem, Judah. And I said, he didn't say he was in search of a job. How we put it again? Verse what was it?
He looked to sojourn.
Verse 1.
That was verse 8.
Right. To sojourn where you could find a place. Right? So he was searching for a place. Not just a place to rent, but he was searching for a job too. So he found Micah, and Micah made him the offer and said, but you're a Levite. I need a priest. You have an ephod? All right, so continue.
Just read back. Man depart out of the city from Bethlehem. He could find a place, and he came to Mount Ephraim to the house of Micah as he journeyed. Okay, don't think I didn't read that. So that.
Continue.
Yeah, you hear me, sir?
Yeah, man, continue.
Okay, verse 9. And Micah said unto him, whence cometh thou? Okay. And he said unto him, I am a Levite of Bethlehem, Judah, and I go to sojourn where I may find a place.
Okay, you didn't read
Verse 10.
You didn't read 9.
Yeah.
10.
And Micah said unto him, dwell with me, and be unto me a father and a priest, and I will give thee 10 shekels of silver by the year, and a suit of apparel, and thy victuals. So the Levite went in.
All right, so that was his pay, 10 shekels of silver. So that 10 shekels of silver was his annual salary. So you see, it wasn't any poor people he went among. So that is why I can tell you that it seemed as if he found the house probably was a big house, or the property so big that him say, let me check these people for some work, right? So that was his annual salary, and he already had that 10 shekels of silver because he took how many shekels of silver from his mother? 1,100 shekels of silver, and he was offering the man 10 shekels of silver by the year. 10 shekels for the year. So in those days, you never have any bank to go and put your money in. You better find somewhere in your property. So this was also one of the reasons why, you know, it was in your best interest to ensure that crime does not hang around you too much. You understand? Because if a man come in your house, he could just take away all the wealth like that. You understand? So it was in their interest to put away crime from among them. Nowadays, what they were trying to do in Montego Bay by bringing up Zozo is not they care so much because for the people in Montego Bay. There's a big project that is supposed to come on stream in the tourist area of Montego Bay. That should be done by the Ministry of Tourism. So they don't want no extortion and no bad man in that area. So they're trying to control them before the work starts. That's it. It's all politics. And I think they care one ass about us. Don't care. All right. Continue. What, 11 now? 12? Yeah, continue.
Okay, continue. Verse 7. It was content to dwell with the man, and the young man was unto him as one of his sons.
Mm-hmm.
Verse
So
12.
him live at the house, you know. Basically, he was getting paid. He was getting his victuals. That's in daily food. He was getting his apparel. That's his clothes. So he treated him like one of his sons. Continue.
Verse 12. And Micah consecrated the Levite, and the young man became his priest, and was in the house of Micah.
So no poor man can have him personal priest. So Micah wasn't a poor man. Micah was one with money. And this was always a problem with the Most High, with rich people. They're always leading people away from the Most High. And that's just the only reason why the Most High speak against the wealthy at times, you know. Because they have the money. They always try to use the money and lead people from the Most High. Continue.
Yes, sir. Micah was going to use 1,100 of silver to make idol.
How you mean? Melt up your make idol? Money, you know. Remember that silver is money. So this was how important their God was to them, because it's what they believe is that it is this God that gave them their wealth. So it would be befitting to put an image of this God in their dwelling to watch over them. This is how they saw it.
God.
But we who have the God who is able to put us, not only to give us personal wealth, but to give us dominion over all things on this earth, we seek to put him away, believing that he is not able to give us dominion over all things, which he has already done from the time we signed the covenant in Moses' time. It was a done deal for us to have dominion over this earth. You know, because we piss off the Most High. The Most High, in his vexation, spoke some things which had to come to pass. As a matter of fact, he wanted to kill us from in the desert. He wanted to wipe us out and build up another nation. It was just the wisdom of Moses why he didn't do it. Moses said, no, man, if you do that, you're going to look like you don't know. You take them out of Egypt, but you couldn't do what you say you were going to do. So you kill them off in the wilderness. And the Most High say, all right. I understand Moses. I see what you're saying. What you're saying makes sense. But because I have said certain things, it will have to come to pass. So this is how we're going to do it. Hence, we are back in Egypt again. All right, we're at verse 13.
Sure. That's the content. Another one, verse 30. Then said Micah, no, I that the Lord will do me good, seeing have a Levite to my peace.
All right. So now man say no, say, yeah, we're going to be with him because he's a Levite I have. And the Levite was to be in service to the Most High, right? So because the Levite is to be in service to the Most High, and him have a Levite now, him say, yeah, the Most High go and love me for this because I have a Levite. Syncretism, well, I don't know if I'll call it syncretism, but it's the same thing that is happening with us today, where we are saying, you know, because I give to charity, you know, But I'm in the church. I give to charity. I know that this is Caesar Borgia. I know that what they're teaching me is not what the Bible says, but I give to charity. So the Most High is going to love me. So Micah now saying that because he employ a Levite, God is going to bless him. Anyways, let's go to chapter 18 and see if that is so.
There's a verse, chapter 18.
Chapter 18, yeah.
God, chapter 18. This is the book of Judges, chapter 18 and 1. In those days, there was no king in Israel. And in those days, the tribe of Dan, tribe of the Danites, saw them an inheritance to dwell in. For unto that day, all their inheritance had not fallen unto them among the tribes of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, and children of the family, 5 men from their coasts, men of valor from Zorah and from Eshtaol, to spy out the land and to search it. And they said unto them, Go, search the land. When they came to Mount Ephraim, the house of Micah, they lodged there.
All right. So the house of Micah was one house that you couldn't miss. Everybody just seemed to, all travelers just seem to find Micah's house, eh? So Micah probably built his big house at the wayside. So that these men sought to lodge at Micah's house. They came to spy out the land, and they lodged at Micah's house. Now, what it is saying is that from the time of Moses, and we come into the promised land, the Danites didn't get all their inheritance, because what it was like, you know, as the Most High said, he would not chase out everybody out the land at the same time, because he don't want to chase out everybody and then wild animal take over the land and become a problem to us. So as our population grow, we were supposed to go and, you know, get the people out, take the land. Why, trust me, it's just like you see how the Israeli and the Palestinians, it's just like that. But we know better. It's two heathen in there fighting, but it's the same principle. The Israeli have our laws and our way of life. Boy, and they are rich. They are so rich from it. You can imagine if we had do what we are supposed to. If we have done what we are supposed to do, what we were supposed to do by keeping the Most High's law, statutes, commandment, we would be the ones in charge of the earth now. Yeah. We would be trillionaires in the earth. Now today we are struggling to just to be a millionaire. Now, even in Jamaican currency, we're having a problem. Where $1 million is less than 10,000 US.
Yeah.
And we're struggling to keep up with. I don't know if I have a lot of millionaires working for the government. You're earning certain amount of money per month. You know, 100,000. You're a millionaire.
Yeah.
The millionaire is not to be spoken of in Jamaica in terms of Jamaican dollars. That if you say a millionaire, you suffer, you suffer. You better say I am tens of millions per year. Now these men who came up in the land found the house of Micah because they came up to spy out to make war with the inhabitants of these land to bring the tribe of Dan up into that land. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 3. When they were by the house of Micah, they knew the voice of the young man, the Levite, and they turned in thither and said unto him, Who brought thee hither? And what makest thou in this place? And what hast thou here?
Right, so then you're a familiar voice. And they say, hold on. No, not such and such voice that. And they went in and they said, why are you? What business you have up here, so? You know, they were surprised to see him this far. Continue.
Another one can, verse 4. And it's, thus and thus dealeth Micah with me, and has hired me, and I am his priest.
So they say, well, I work. Basically, he's working up here working. He's working as a priest. Sorry. He's working as a priest in the house of Micah.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
Another one can, verse 5. And they said unto him, Ask counsel, we pray thee, of God, that we may know whether our way which we go shall be prosperous.
Now, because he was a Levite, you hear what them turn to him and say, he must ask counsel of God.
God.
So, and they would have seen, they're supposed to see the idol in the house, you know. But they are telling him, they want to know from God if they are going to prosper in what they're about to do.
God.
And it's him they ask, him the idolater, they ask to ask God if they will prosper in what they are about to do. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 6. And the priest said unto them, Go in peace, before the Lord is Slakia. Before the Lord is your way wherein ye go. Verse 7. And the 5 men departed and came to Laish, and saw the people that were therein, how they dwelt careless after the manner of the Zidonians, quiet and secure, and there was no magistrate in might put them to shame, and they were far from Idonians, and had no business with any man.
Verse what then? Verse what? Huh? Kyron.
I hear me, sir.
Verse what was that?
I hear.
Yeah. Yes, what verse that you just read? Yeah, what verse that you just read? Verse 7 or 8?
Read verse 7.
No, I asked you what verse you just read.
Yeah, man, verse 7.
Right. So it was 5 men who went to scout out the land. And they saw the priests and the idol. And they recognized the priests. And the priest said unto them, Go in peace before the Lord is your way wherein ye go. So go on in peace. You can't go in peace. The Lord is with you. Basically, that's what I'm telling them. And the 5 men departed and came to Laish and saw the people that were therein, how they dwelt careless, meaning them never did have no military, no strongholds, no military to guard them Nothing like that. Understand? So that's why I said they dwell carelessly. There was no guards after the manner of the Zidonians, quiet and secure. And there was no magistrate in the land that might put them to shame in anything. So they did that as they want. No court. They did as they please. No one to go to prison. No one to be charged by the magistrate that you might be embarrassed because you get charged or you get somebody carried to court or something like that. Right. And who is supposed to would come to their rescue, the Zidonians? They were far away. And they had no business with anyone. All right, so in other words, it was a city that they say it was a city that probably even the 5 of them could take the city. All right, verse 8.
God 1, verse 8. And they came unto their brethren to Zorah and Eshtaol, and their brethren said unto them, What say ye? Verse 9. And they said, Arise, that we may go up against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good. And are ye still? Be not slothful to go, and to enter and possess the land.
All right. So that's the report now from the spine. So yeah, man, we can take it, man. The land is good. People dwell carelessly. So don't itch. Don't be slothful. Let's go.
Yeah.
Verse 11.
God, verse 10. God, verse 10. When ye go, ye shall come unto a people secure, and to a large land, for God has given it unto your hands, into your hands, a place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth.
Right. That's why they said it's secure, because they have everything that they need. Food, shelter, clothing was all there. Right? So it's not a place that they want water, it is there. It's not a place that they were in want. They were secure. All right, continue.
God, verse 11. And they went from thence of the family of Canaanites out of Zorah and out of Eshtaol 600 men appointed with weapons of war. Verse 12. And they went up and pitched in Kirjath Jearim in Judah, wherefore they called the place Mahanedan, and to this day, behold, it is behind Kirjath Jearim. Verse 13. And they passed thence unto Mount Ephraim, and came unto the house of Micah. Verse 14. Then answered the 5 men that went to spy out the country of Laish, and said unto their brethren, Do we know that there is in these house an ephod and teraphim and a graven image and a molten image? Now therefore consider what ye have to do.
Now the word he used was houses. Do you know that in these houses they have some idols in these houses? Ephod, teraphim, all kind of thing. Consider what you're going to do. Now what should they have done? They should have
destroyed those idols.
All right, continue reading.
God, verse 15. And they turned thitherward and came to the house of the young man, the Levite, even unto the house of Micah, and saluted him. Verse 16. And the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan, stood by the entering of the gate. Verse 17, and the 5 men that went to spy over the land went up and came in there and took the graven image and the ephod and the teraphim and the molten image. And the priest stood in the entering of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with weapons of war.
All right. So then go and hijack the houses and take away the molten image and the priests. Continue. Continue.
Another one gone, verse 18. And they went into Micah's house. And these went into Micah's house and fetched the carved image, ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, what do ye?
Right. Because
verse 19.
The priest is an Israelite, you know. The priest is an Israelite, and they make him out. Them know him. Him know them. So I'm saying, what? All right. What you do? What are you going to do? Because he must know say them supposed to kill him. Destroy those images. Continue.
God.
19.
Said unto him, O thy peace, lay thine hand upon thy mouth, and go with us, and be to us a father and a priest. Is it better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one man, or that to be a priest unto a tribe and a family in Israel?
All right. I'm telling you, yeah, more money to get, you know.
No.
You'll be a priest to one man and you collect one. How much you miss again? 10 shekels of silver for the year.
A year, annually.
All right. Or be a priest unto the whole tribe of Dan. So this was the first one to set up the idolatry for themselves. They didn't follow after other nations. They set up the idolatry within their tribe. Just by what these men of valor who went to fight said. Continue. 20.
Verse 20. And these are glad.
Right. And the priest's heart was glad and he took the ephod.
Yes. Verse 2. Say that again, sir. Salakia.
No, it's 20. I was reading 20.
Yes, Salakia. The signal, sir. You hear me now?
Yeah.
God, verse 20. And the priest heard, Salakia, and the priest's heart was glad, and he took the ephod and the teraphim and the graven image and went in the midst of the people.
Right. Went in the midst of the tribe of Dan. Continue.
Another one gone. Verse 21. So they turned and departed, and put the little ones and the cattle and the carriage before them. Verse 22. And when they were a good way from the house of Micah, the men that were in the houses near to Micah's house were gathered together and overtook the children of Dan. Verse 23. And they cried unto the children of Dan, and they turned their faces and said unto Micah, what aileth thee, that thou comest with such a company? Verse 24. And he said, Ye have taken away my gods, which I made, and the priests, and ye are gone away.
You have taken away, hold on, you have taken away my gods, which I made, and the priests, and ye are and I go with them. So you take away my God and you take away my priests and you go with them. Continue.
God. And what have I more? And what is this that ye have say, Salakia, that ye say unto me, what is thee?
All right, continue.
Verse 25. And the children of Dan said unto him, Let not thy voice be heard among us, lest angry fellows run upon thee, and thou lose thy life with the lives of thy household.
All right. I want to tell him to keep quiet, man. I know about to make most of them man in the hear your voice and come up on your not we take your gods and your thing, but we'll leave you alive. You're going to raise your voice now and make a man then come kill you and your family. You better keep quiet. Continue.
Verse 26. And the children of Dan went their way. And when Micah saw that they were too strong for him, he turned and went back unto his house. Verse 27. And they took the things which Micah had made, and the priests which he had, and came unto Laish, unto a people that were at quiet and secure, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and burned the city with fire.
So they were on their way going to war, and Micah want to come up against them. So remind them people are going to kill you. Keep quiet and go back inside. All right.
Good.
So they went onto the place that they were heading to, and they took the city and did what? And burned the city with fire. Continue.
Verse 28. And there was no deliverer, because it was far from Zidon, and they had no business with any man. And it was in the valley that lieth by Bethrahab, and they built a city and dwelt therein.
That was verse what?
Verse 28.
All right. There was no deliverer because it was far from Zidon, and they had no business with any man. And it was in the valley that lieth. So there is a lot of land. They get it. When you have a city, in those days you have a city, you have the city, and then you have the outskirts or the country areas where you do the farming and bring the produce into the city. So these lands that they went and took was no small land. Lot of land. So much so that they build a city. Today you might call it a town, but it's a city. In America you have some small cities that we here in Jamaica would call towns. All right. So here a place in the size like Mandeville, it would be called a city. But here it's a town. Spanish Town was a city back in the time of the Spanish, but it's now a town. It downgraded to town. Portmore would have been seen as a city, but it's a town. Now, they built a city and dwelt therein. Of course, with the idol. That is why it is recorded in the Bible, you know, because what they did was no small thing. Continue reading.
Verse 29. And they called the name of the city Dan, after the name of Dan their father, who was born unto Israel. Albeit the name of the city was Laish at the first. Verse 30. And the children of Dan set up the graven image, and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh, he and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan until the day of the captivity of the land.
All right. So Dan set up idolatry in amongst their tribe right until the time when the oh mercy. What's the name of that country that took out the northern kingdom again?
Yeah, Assyria.
Right until the time of the Assyrians.
Okay.
These Danites went bad long time.
Okay.
Right. So Dan set up what I do, they set up and the children of Dan set up the graven image, and Jonathan the son of Gershom and so you see that Levite priest that they brought back, what do you think they did? They made in the same way that the sons of Aaron became priests among our people, the tribe of Dan did the same thing. That Levite that they took back from Micah's house, he became the priest, and then his sons became priests unto the tribe of Dan. Right up until the time when they took the northern kingdom. So that means when the kingdom split and Solomon, in the time of Solomon, Dan was already in idolatry.
Okay.
Dan had already gone to idols. All right, continue.
Another one, gun, verse 31. And they set them up Micah's graven image, which he made all the time that the house of God was in Shiloh.
So while we are Jerusalem with the big thing there, temple, Dan had their idol worshiping Baal from long time. So that is why, all right, good time to jump to Revelation.
Another one, gun.
Find the 144,000. Revelation what again? I think it's on 13. Revelation chapter 13, I think.
Revelations chapter 14. Revelation chapter 14 and 1.
No man, when they seal the 144,000, they say, unto the tribe of Benjamin was sealed 12,000. Tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000.
Okay, good. 7 and
From 7.
7 and 11.
All right.
Revelation chapter 7.
All right. Start from verse 4.
Another one, gun. This is the book of Revelations chapter 7 and verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribe of the children of Israel.
All right.
Verse 5.
So name them now. Yeah, verse 5 of the tribe of?
Another one, gun. Verse 5 of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Verse 6. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Verse 7. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of
Hold on. They drop man or something. Yeah.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
All right, so that is it. And you don't see Dan mentioned in it. But it promises that all the original 12 tribes would make it back. But the Most High did not put the name of Dan in there because Dan went bad from too long. Dan went bad from before we have kings, right? The other tribes, it was the Most High who rent the kingdom in two. But Dan actually did separate themselves. And I don't know how they managed to do this and the rest of the 11 tribes didn't come down on them. So in other words, when the northern kingdom became the rent in two, when the kingdom rent in two and the northern kingdom start governing themselves, it seems as if it was the tribe of Dan who taught them, who bring back the Baal to them, because Dan did have it over the years and know how to worship it and all them things. So like them teach another kingdom. So that's the most high punishment for them. You can't pinpoint in UPK. Me, you Caribbean people, we know that we are Benjamite. The Black Americans know they are Judite. You know every tribe. You can't pinpoint Dan. Right? But Dan was from the time of the blessing. This is Revelation, what this with us read, Revelation 7.
7. Cancer.
And we read 1 to, sorry, not 1, we didn't read 1.
4 to 8.
Right, we read chapter 4 to 8. All right, try and find the 12 tribe blessing now. I'm going to see what Joseph said about, Jacob.
Gotcha.
What Jacob had said about Dan. Jacob blessing his sons. That is in Genesis 49.
49, gotcha.
Genesis 49, verse 16 and 17.
Another one gone. This is the book
16
of
to
Genesis,
18.
chapter 49, verse 16. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel.
All
Verse
right.
17. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse's heel, so that his rider shall fall backward.
All right. So Dan will be right there in the last days. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel.
Okay.
Now, this was before we even go into captivity into Israel, you know, into Egypt, you know. And his father was, the father of the 12 was blessing his 12 sons. Right? Now, the blessing that the father was doing for each son was based on the characteristics that he sees on each of the son. It was 12 sons with 12 different characteristics. But he also knew that the characteristics of each son was to be the characteristics of those sons. So he realized that Dan, you know, Dan have a little serpent action, a little serpent characteristic. But because he was Jacob's son, he shall judge his son, he shall judge his people like any one of the other tribes. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 18.
Read 17 again.
Okay, God. Verse 17. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse's heels, so that his rider shall fall backward.
Right. So Dan now, he might be the man where, ever hear the term snake on the grass?
God.
Right. So he is within within the other 11 tribes. He's there. But you can't pinpoint him.
God.
Because for whatever reason. It was for this same reason that we just read. How him took unto himself and his people graven image. Sneakingly. Because these idol, the idol that they took, the idol was house idols. These were idols that you would put in, keep in a house. It was a replica of the bigger thing, just like what they had in India. Those things that you see them driving the tractor over, those come out of the houses of these people who died from corona. And a little segue on the corona. That strain of corona that just devastated India and still working in India, that they call it Delta virus, has mutated now and become Delta Plus. You hear about it?
Yeah, sir. I forgot to check it out and see what I go on.
All right, the video. Yeah, I sent a video with it. And that virus and the Delta Plus is spreading faster than Delta. And it's becoming, yes, and it's more contagious than Delta. Delta is,
what is Delta?
It's just a mutation of the original COVID-19. They had one that they call the Alpha, which came out of UK, and they have the Beta, and this one they call it Delta. The Delta came out of India. That's the Indian. When the virus hit India, it mutated, and they call that mutation Delta virus of the COVID. Now this mutation has mutated again, and they're calling it the Delta Plus.
Yeah, like iPhone Plus.
All right. No, they are now wondering if the vaccine can keep this strain out. Now, it is more contagious. They said they're not sure if it is more deadlier, but it spread faster and you catch it easier. And guess what? It is in Japan, and we know that Japan is going to host the World Cup. Sorry, the Olympics. So the story isn't finished. All right, so so that was just a little segue. So back to Dan now. Dan is the man. Dan is the man in the band, and Dan is the man who is the snake on the grass within Israel right now. And he said, I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. So is Christ have to come back and restore Dan? Dan will only be restored when Christ come back. Because no man can pinpoint Dan right, you know. Remember, you know, this was Genesis 49 here. This was how we were able to identify the 12 tribes to be. How you find who was Benjamin, who was Joseph, who was Naphtali, who was Asher. You understand?
God.
But what it gives you here about Dan, it said, Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and adder the path. So Dan a snake on the grass within the tribes. You can't find him.
God.
And it was for the same reason. So when the Father was blessing him right here, you know, he didn't commit anything yet. He didn't commit any atrocities yet. You know what I mean? All right. Continue. Oh, I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. And that is done. All right. Let's go to Deuteronomy 13. Verse 1 to 5.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, verse 2, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
All right, so when these men who was going up to take the city stopped at Micah's house, and they saw the Levite, and they asked him to inquire of God if we should have gone, if we will prosper on our way. Now they saw that this man was in idolatry. They shouldn't have done that, you know.
God.
But the report came back, says what? You will prosper in your way. And they did prosper in their way, didn't they? So,
God.
this is what it is saying now. If there come among you the prophet who is a dreamer of dreams, verse 2.
Verse 2. And the sign or the one that come to pass, wherefore he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
So that which the Levite priests spake unto them did come to pass, because they did prosper. They went up and they took the city. Continue.
Verse 3. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul.
All right. So even though this prophet or false prophet or dreamer of dreams say something to you, just like our Christian prophet them come and them saying something to you, and it come to pass.
God.
This
Exactly.
is the Most High testing you if you really love God.
God.
Right. So not because they say it and it come to pass means that they are on the right track. You get me? What should you do when you see this now? Verse what? 4?
Verse 4. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and he shall serve him and cleave unto him.
Right. So regardless of what this prophet is going to come and tell you, him tell you say when you go down the road, you buck your toe, and you go down and you still buck your toe for true. But that don't mean that he's on the right track. This prophet is still not following God. This is God. This is the Most High testing you if you are really with him. Because if you are with him, what would you do? It says you shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandment and obey his voice. So you don't obey the voice of the false prophet because you see the idol in the man house. You realize that what they are doing is idolatry. You inquire of him and tell us something, yeah, it come to pass. But this is what you should have done. Verse 5.
Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
So the tribe of Dan did not put the evil away. This Levite priest led them astray. And they took the bait. And they did not put the evil away from among them. And we today, we are doing the same thing. You find one church and they, you know that the church is not on the right track because they have the white picture in there and the Bible don't give you no image stays up. Right? And everything that they teach is contrary to what the Bible says. But you still follow after them. Why you follow after them? Because of, I don't know, money, something. But you can't put them to death today. What you do? You leave them, you come in the truth. Find the truth. The truth party is back on track now. Find it and come on. There are brothers out there who calling and letting us know that boy they have been following us. And it is true. They are following us. And they realize that what the Christian church is saying is not what the Bible is saying. And they are making the switch. Dan was not able to make the switch. The tribe of Dan sought to, I don't know, maybe they were just of an idolatrous nature. How you explain these people? The people among us who seek to go after idol, what explanation we can put forward for them? I don't think we can put an explanation forward for them. But they have their judgment coming. Revelation 21 and 8. And these politicians who talking about, police should shoot. These are results of idolatry, right? Because these nations, these idols that they worship was not for us. And their teachings go against us. Their teachings teach us to hate each other. And you know what's the worst thing? Without even saying it. You never go in the church and hear the church saying, you should hate each other. Have you ever heard of any such church? Exactly. I've never heard of any church. Huh?
No, sir, never.
You never heard of any church preaching it. Yet still, it comes out. Yeah. Because of what they are teaching. The first thing they give the idol of Caesar Borgia. Subconsciously, it's okay to kill this man because him look nothing like that picture there. Then they give you Satan. They tell you everything that is evil. They call it black.
Yeah.
Black Friday. Name them. What else they say again? You blackmail me. What else?
Black cat.
Black cat.
Bad luck.
You have things on the and selling on the black market.
God.
Eh? You have blackballed me.
God.
So the subconsciously the Christian learn that it's good to eat anything black.
God.
This comes from idolatry, Baal worship. So this is why we have always, the Most High always tell us, put idols of idolatry away from amongst you. It poisons the mind. And guess what? Who it hurts? It hurts you, yes. You hurt the Most High. Because you know killing your black brother, aborting your black child, who the Most High tell you that the children are his heritage. The Most High tell you that you should love one another. But because of the indoctrination in your subconscious, you hurt the Most High and his people without even realizing. Because you're going to tell the police, any man you find with gun, shoot him. Right? Your woman is going to say, oh, if a man kill me, we support him, but we not support him killing no woman. How about supporting him not killing anybody?
That's right.
As what the Bible says. Right? And as for the politician, how about you telling the cops, bring them to the courts, as the Bible says? Right?
That's right.
Because the Bible don't give you the right, even though it says, put the evil from among you. It don't give you the right to kill any man just like that, you know. It says at the mouth of 2 or more witnesses.
God.
Right? You can do that. So you see the man with a gun. What the law said, bring him to the courts.
That's right.
Yeah, do what the law said, you catch him. He may shoot after you. If he shoot at you, you shoot back on him dead, well, we can't see with that. But don't tell the lie, say him shoot at you when he did not shoot at you. Right?
God.
Because me not gonna make a man shoot after me. Even a police shoot after me and me know me, you know, say me I shoot back.
That's right.
Because me know me not a criminal. If me have a gun, me have a license for it. So you see me with a gun, make sure you find out if you have a license. Right? That is the reality. But you tell police now, but you're following the teachings of that heathen who went ahead before us, and says, shoot and ask question after. But you know, the lake of fire is coming for the world. Give me Revelation 21. And give me verse 8.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and 8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and warmongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
So this politician is turning those cops into murderers.
God.
Right?
God.
And the worst part is that these cops are also Israelites. So these cops are going to find their way into the lake of fire, along with the politicians, right?
God.
And these idolaters that are subconsciously poisoning our people are going to find their way in that lake of fire, which is burning.
That's right.
Which is the second death. Because what we have now, this is the first death in our people not knowing themselves, not knowing that they are the chosen people of the Most High, not knowing that we should not be killing each other. We don't understand, brother, that Christ was teaching brotherhood. We don't understand brotherhood, right? And this politician is not doing any better. This politician and this woman is turning her son into a murderer. Because she don't even know that whether I'm a murderer woman or man, in going to face the judgment from the Most High. She don't know that. And what caused that? Idolatry caused that. And with that, we pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kayadwan.
So lucky, I broke up a while ago, sir. What you say? I'm just now.
With that, we pass the class over to you.
Okay. God the one God. Clap it up. These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 150th Street, Harlem, New York, and the commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, as an interest in a particular person, or she was established from the head to speak, brother, or there's a 6 months which brother or will court each other. After this 6 months, brother or sister will burn from the head to marry. Nice. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21. And Malachi chapter 3, verse 10, verse 8 to 10. I.S.U.P.K 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming public convocation is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. This is the first day of the 7th month, and it will be held on Monday, the 6th of September. And you can find this in Leviticus 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminding Akiam and Aquatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boot, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say a marium, which means to stand.
Alright, we'll just say the last prayer and close off.
Okay, I'm sorry, Lapanya Akodam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abnawa.
Abanawa.
Shabashamayam.
Shabashamayam.
Kwadash.
Kwadash.
Aya.
Aya.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Malakwatka.
Malakwatka.
Tabaha.
Tabaha.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Aya.
Aya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Barataza.
Barataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Aya.
Aya.
Washamaya.
Washamaya.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalaklanawa.
Wasalaklanawa.
Kawabwatnawa.
Kawabwatnawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kawabwat yanawa.
Kawabwat yanawa.
Wala.
Wala.
Kabaa yanawa.
Kabayanawa.
Manasayawa.
Manasayawa.
Abal.
Abal.
Awashainawa.
Awashainawa.
Maya.
Maya.
Right.
Right.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalaka.
Amalakwa.
Wahala.
Wahala.
Watapara.
Watapara.
Aiwalamyam.
Aiwalamyam.
Aman.
Amen. In English, our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever, so be it. Amen.
Forever, so be it. Amen. Amen. I'm sorry, which means to turn. I'm going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Amajum Shabbat. Amajum Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh B'Rakatam.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh B'Rakatam.
Yaramata. Turn and face the sisters. Our sister, men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shah. Barak. Yahweh Shema. Yaramata. Class dismissed.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up-and-coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today. Call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom.